What's up, everyone? Duquesne23 here, and today we are going to be talking about something a little bit spicy. But first, let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room, my hair. Yes, the last time you saw me, I had longer hair. I didn't look like a child, like I didn't have a child's haircut. Well, the reason why I have this haircut is because of the fact that I went trick-or-treating with my kids, and we did a Toy Story theme, and I was Sid. And so, yes, I even have like a little, created erector set, baby monster type of thing there. I shaved my hair for the Sid look, because he has really short hair. But we have Aiden as Buzz Lightyear, my son Dylan as Forky, Zurg is Tyler, my wife was Jessie, and then my brother and his kids and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, Bo Peep, and of course, Isaiah here is Woody. So that's why I have my shaved head. So that's something that y'all don't need to wonder about anymore because yes, I do have a children's haircut. But yeah, so let's go ahead now and jump into the point of this entire video. The point is Elite Forge Studios. I wasn't going to make a video over this until someone sent me a clip of some audio that Saintly Demonic had in a meeting. I guess it was an open meeting. I have no idea. Didn't even know they were having a meeting. I left the Discord and stuff. The only reason really why I joined the Discord, which Saintly and Elite Falcon can attest to this, I joined their Discord as a play tester. Even though I kept telling them I wouldn't be able to test, but sure, I'll join just in case one day I'm able to help test maps. I just joined just because they asked. Whenever I had that original thing with them back then, whenever I made some false accusations about them, and then I had a talk with Saintly and Elite Falcon, and they kind of clarified some of the things that I thought were true, but it turns out they weren't. I made a retraction. I deleted that tweet. I, posted something else about, that whole thing about how I was wrong and everything. And so, I went ahead and joined their Discord after that, just be able to, if I am able to help test, I can, but I kept telling them I'm probably not going to be able to. So I went ahead and left the Discord now after all this stuff has been going on, just because I'm just like, what's the point of me even being in there and stuff? And so, yeah, so if you didn't know, Elite Falcon yesterday posted this thing right here. He posted this deal saying, all right, y'all deserve to know how diabolically run and corrupt Elite Forge Studio is, so here you go. And then Elite Falcon tagged everyone, on here, which was crazy. Andy tagged Michael, which I think that shouldn't tag 343 over that type of stuff. And it really shouldn't tag anyone, but he gives his reasons right here why, Saintly Demonic was doing bad things and all that type of stuff. Of course, my response here, whenever this happened, my response was, right here goes, yikes. Yeah, y'all know I've been skeptical about Elite Forge Studios from the beginning, which I have not hidden that at all. But the fact that one of the original co-owners was kicked from the studio and all this stuff has come out is crazy. Always be cautious when joining anything. And I was just saying that it's crazy that Elite Falcon was kicked, and all this other stuff come out. I don't know how true this is, but I'm going to retweet it. Just be cautious, when joining anything. Simple. Makes a lot of sense. And so, yeah, I was just like, okay, that was my response to that. That was it. I did talk to Elite Falcon, before he made this post right here, cause he wanted to explain to me, and Elite Falcon actually wanted me to break all this news, but I told him, I was just like, hey, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to get caught up in all the drama and everything like that. That's not the thing that, I don't want to worry about that type of stuff. I don't want to be involved with that because, I made false accusations earlier about Elite Forge Studios and I had to retract that because I got bad information. So I didn't want to do that type of stuff. So I told him, hey, I was like, if you're going to post this, you post it yourself. I don't want to do that. Type of thing. So he went ahead and posted it himself right here. And so that's where that came out. And then Elite Forge Studios actually came out with another post right here. Just saying this actually came out yesterday at night at 9:34 p.m. Said, we want to thank everyone for their patience. Here's our response. And boy, is this response long. Like, oh my gosh. But it has everything. I highly suggest, if y'all are interested in all this, read through the full thing. Now, I didn't read through everything because, well, this is long, and there are no breaks in this, like no paragraphs or anything like that. And I do struggle whenever I read things that don't have a lot of like paragraphs or breaks or stuff like that. But I did notice, like, I did read quite a bit of it. And, you know, there were definitely some things. It seems like you don't know who to believe. You don't know who to believe, either Elite Falcon or Saintly Demonic on some of these things. Because both Elite Falcon has forgers that were part of Elite Forge Studios who kind of back up Elite Falcon. Then you have forgers that are, you know, part of Elite Forge Studios that back up Saintly Demonic. So it's like, who knows? Who knows? My whole thing is, I'm just like, I'm a third party here. I'm going to comment about this, but there is a reason why I'm making this video right now. And I hope y'all stay till, you know, find out why here in a second. But they say right here, you know, Duquesne can confirm this. He does mention things. He says, again, when Duquesne had publicly called us out, it was a huge turning point in the scenario. I did later sit down with them, and a lot of the issues, both Duquesne and what he had been hearing throughout the community, stemmed from Elite Falcon. 100% true. Yes, that is 100% true. My biggest issue was Elite Falcon, and I'll explain more of that here in a second. We had chat about this, all this type of stuff, and everything. Like I'm saying, you could go through all this and you could read through everything. I'm not going to go ahead and read through. This is like 20 pages. I'm not going to go through this type of stuff here. So there's that. And then recently, I was messaged last night. I was messaged because if you notice right here, he says, where is it exactly? There's somewhere where they say that they will talk. It says, full share on my wrongdoings. I can't remember where, but said that they will chat in the Discord and stuff. A little bit after this is posted. Maybe this was at the beginning. Was it at the beginning where they said that? Oh no, here it is. We will be open to discussing this with anyone who has concerns. Both our board members and myself, Saintly Demonic, will be in a public voice chat in our Discord for a little bit from when this is posted to try and answer any questions people may have. So then they give their Discord there. So I don't know if this was posted and then they are in a voice chat and then they decided to go ahead and chat about different stuff. But yeah, so let's go ahead and listen to something that was said in a voice chat. By the way, I did not ask anyone to record this. I didn't even know this chat was happening. I didn't even know the apology of Elite Forge Studio, or not apology, the rebuttal of the Elite Forge Studio was happening at all. Like, I was asleep whenever this was posted. I went to bed, I was sick and everything, so I went to bed super early. I was asleep, and then I got a message, and the message said, hey, you know, Duquesne, they were talking about you. They talked about you throughout a lot of the chat, but this is, you know, the most important, I guess, type of stuff. So let's go ahead and listen to this, and let's see real quick what they have to say about me here. If it's going to play. Is it going to play? Is it going to play?
When I heard, like, you know, about this tweet, like, initially thought, oh, it's just probably another big YouTube channel, like, who was it, fucking Duquesne or whatever, like, complaining again. But no, it was actually fucking Falcon, the guy who was a big figure.
Oh, dude, I mentioned Duquesne in my document. I'm just putting this out there, and it specifically, it's all the truth, and I said Duquesne can confirm this if need be, and if Duquesne comes out and lies about it, I have our whole recording of our whole conversation, start to finish. And there's some bad stuff in that, and I will drop it, so help me Lord, if he tries to lie to the Halo community.
Did you see his,
Let's go ahead and pause it right there. What am I lying to the Halo community? What some bad stuff inside that recording? First of all, let's talk about this 1 second here. Let's talk about this. Let's get full face cam here. Let's talk about this. So you recorded our conversation that we had without me knowing you recorded our conversation. At least I don't remember you telling me. Maybe you did. I don't remember it. But you recorded our conversation without me knowing. And so you're going to come out like that's a good thing? You don't record people's conversations unless they know. That is so slimy to sit there and record something so you have some beef later. You have something that you can bring back later, which there's nothing in that recording that I am like that's super, bad or anything like that. What I said in the recording is that I didn't like Elite Falcon. I didn't. Currently, right now, I have no issues with Elite Falcon. The funny thing is, after the talk that I had with Saintly Demonic, I talked to Elite Falcon directly after that. And, and I even told Elite Falcon my issues I had with him. And some of my issues I had with him is that he was coming out with content that was basically lazy content. He would do 10-minute builds and say they're incredible and stuff. And I'm like, not really. They're only 10-minute builds. Like, he came out with a most insane racetrack ever. And, he posted that on YouTube, and it is a terrible racetrack. And he took 11 minutes to build it. I told him that. I said, I don't like that type of content. I don't like whenever you're literally uploading content for views. That is it. You're not trying to make quality content, some other people like myself would spend hours making something. And also Infinite Forges would spend hours, multiple hours making something. And you could clearly tell that he spends hours and hours on the leak build making something, and so I told Elite Falcon, it was lazy content. It was and that's why I didn't like him. I didn't like Elite Falcon because of the way he goes about doing everything. Also, the way he talks about stuff. He criticized other content creators off of their, content and everything. And then he also acting like, Elite Forge Studios will do all this at the beginning for the community. Whenever the other people, like other scripters like Artifice and everyone like that, was already doing some things without them getting credit for that type of stuff. But I talked all this with Saintly Demonic. I talked about all this with Elite Falcon. And then we talked it all out and everything. But it turns out he recorded our entire conversation so he can have some sort of something against me and everything. So, and then now he's saying in here behind my back. And again, I didn't ask anyone to record this. So the person they were listening and, they said that, they were just like, I heard your name come up. I recorded it. Just so that way you can hear, and your name came up a few times, but this is the most pertinent type of thing. So let's go ahead and continue listening to this. Oh my gosh. Is it still not going to go? Do I need to open this up separately? Hold on one second. Let's open this up separately real quick because this is still not... I have to reload this every single time, anytime I want to do something like that. So let's go ahead. Downloads. There we go. Let's listen.
This tweet, initially thought, oh, it's just probably another big YouTube channel.
In my document, I'm just putting this out there, and it specifically, it's all the truth. And I said Duquesne can confirm this if need be. And if Duquesne comes out and lies about it, I have our whole recording of our whole conversation, start to finish. And there's some bad stuff in that, and I will drop it. So help me, Lord, if he tries to lie to the Halo community.
Did you see his quote tweet on Elite Falcons?
Yeah, I did. I'm just gonna ignore it for now because we're the bigger people here. Yeah. I'm just gonna let it play out.
So he's saying that he is going to ignore it for now, my quote tweet. Even though my quote tweet wasn't agreeing with Elite Falcon, I'm just saying yikes, because that is, of course this comes out, you're saying yikes, and I'm just saying be cautious when joining anything. And I was just saying, y'all know I've been skeptical of Elite Forge Studios since the beginning. Why? Because I don't think anyone needs to join a studio that isn't being, you're not being paid, and you're being... micromanaged by anything. And if you want to be able to forge a map, it has to have approval of the studio to be able to release. That makes sense as a studio. But that makes sense as a studio where you're actually getting paid for working on it. Like, if you're not getting paid, why not just make whatever map you want and not join the studio? Like, if you need help, there's tons of Discords out there that would help you, that have scripters, that have blockout people, that have aesthetic people. My Discord just by itself has all of that in there. And mine's not specifically a Forge Discord. There's other ones that's like Forge Hub, but then there's also like the Foundry and everything like that that are specifically Forge Discords, where if you need help, you can always just ask anyone for help. You don't need approval to be able to release a map and stuff like a typical studio would do. And I understand from their point, it's a studio, so they have to be accepted. Like, you have to, like, the maps themselves have to be approved to be able to be released. But that only makes sense whenever you're getting paid for stuff. At least that's personally what I believe. But that's why I've always had issues with Elite Forge Studios. That's why. It has nothing to do with Saintly Demonic. It has nothing to do with Elite Falcon. It has everything to do with Elite Forge Studios and just the entire idea behind it on there. So let's go ahead and go back to this.
If Duquesne speaks on the part I mentioned him in and lies to the Halo community, I'm releasing that whole hour-long video.
I love that he keeps on threatening to release the video.
Make sure you include timestamps for the lazy motherfuckers.
Oh, I will.
Now, I don't know who else is talking. I know that's
Like a
Saintly,
whole,
though,
like,
saying he'll
bite
release
off
the
to,
video.
like, screenshots of DMs and shit that, like, you know.
And this is where he lies like a motherfucker.
They're saying this is where I lie.
Exposed. Like, honestly, I trust that there is enough leverage somewhere hidden that Saint has, or some of us even. But I don't think we should, like, lash out like that.
Oh, no.
Um,
I'm not lashing out at anyone. I'm simply stating that I have a part in there about Duquesne. And if Duquesne lies to the Halo community.
So he's not lashing out at anyone, but he's threatening. That's exactly what he's doing. He's not lashing out, but he's threatening. So by all means, release that entire hour-long video that you decided to record without my knowing and without telling me, because, you know, that's a good thing to do. Let's go ahead and record people's conversations. Maybe that's the reason why, because if you notice, Red Nomster right here posted, said, "Hey, Saintly Demonic," and then Red Knight goes, "Howdy. In a meeting at the moment, but afterwards you have time to sit down and talk." You go, "Feel free to DM whenever the info. You know, I don't care to go for calls if I don't have to." And he goes, "I'm opposite. I prefer calls as they are much quicker. I'm also ready if now is okay." And he goes, "Nah, I mean, I don't hop into calls without info. I don't know, you or what the subject is. All good. And part of the opportunity involved collaboration, which working with a Forge team also requires, comms to be efficient. Apologies for wasting your time." Maybe this is the reason why Saintly Demonic wants to always do calls, so he can record every single call, so he can have dirt on people, even though they don't know you're recording and stuff. So it's one of those things. It's like, you're over there recording without my knowing, and now you're trying to threaten me with this. I would have dropped this. I wouldn't care. I was a third party in all of this, just going, yikes, like, it's typical. Like, if anyone who sees this, they're just like, man, what's going on? And then I made another tweet. About Elite Forge Studios. A response from Elite Forge Studio is a lengthy one, so be prepared for that, understandably. Like, I'm just saying there's a response for that. I'm a third party. I'm just giving the information to everyone. I'm just saying be cautious when joining anything. I'm not saying everything Elite Falcon said was true, and I'm not saying everything that Saintly Demonic said was true. But if you want to sit there and threaten me, then I will make a video talking about you and releasing this audio that someone sent me. I didn't tell them to record it. I didn't even know y'all were having a meeting. I didn't have any of that. But of course, people are like, hey, you should probably know about this. So here's
Slander us, it's getting posted. That is.
So by all means,
that is what it is.
Post that hour-long recording.
I'm not posting it to slander. I'm posting it to defend us if he lies.
So I'm not lying. I will tell you that right now. I am not lying. I told everyone already why I disliked Elite Falcon and everything. I had no issues with Saintly Demonic at all. Like none. I had no issues. I had all my issues with Elite Forge Studios came from Elite Falcon because he, the studio basically, Elite Forge Studios, Elite Falcon, it basically was named after him. So if it's supposed to be a community type of thing, I didn't like the name of the studio as well because it seemed like it was strictly Elite Falcons, thing, which they kept on saying it wasn't. So that's why I didn't like the name of that on there, but they explained that was actually somewhat of an accident. They just liked the name Elite Forge Studios, has nothing to do with the Elite Falcon. That's also what Saintly Demonic said. But there's a lot of different things, and I already explained how much I don't like Elite Falcon's content. I think it was lazy, it was uninspired, it was just quick to, just basically to get views and everything, just super quick. So yeah, there's nothing in here. By all means, release that hour conversation that you decided to record without my knowing, in a slimy way of doing it. But if you want to threaten me, sure, go ahead and release that. The only reason why I'm making this video right now is because of this entire audio that you want to threaten me over.
It's gonna look bad.
Which is also a special playtester, which whatever with him. I don't even care.
Duquesne?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one that was slandering us in the very beginning, anyways?
Yep.
Yeah, he.
Dude,
I don't know
I'm
what his deal
still
was.
so half tempted to release that receipt, but I won't.
I
felt
mean, there's
bad.
nothing wrong with getting rid of a few snakes anyway.
Call me a
Hold on
snake
to
now.
it until we absolutely necessarily need it.
Yeah, I don't plan on just releasing it for no reason. That'd be fucked.
Put it on a
That's a different
Blu-ray,
story.
stick it in the
Long
closet.
story short, it's basically an hour conversation about why Duquesne hated EFS, and he explains all his reasonings, and the reasonings ended up being he hates Elite Falcon, and then once we clarified that, he flat out says he just hates Elite Falcon.
Yeah.
He said he hates
But
Elite
then he
Falcon.
agrees with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, and then he agrees with them. No. See, I love how Saintly Demonic isn't going. I go, yeah, I disliked Elite Falcon. I didn't like how he was doing his content, and it made me dislike Elite Falcon and also dislike Elite Forge Studios. And I love how Saintly leaves out of their little conversation how I talked to Elite Falcon directly after that hour-long conversation with Saintly Demonic. I talked to Elite Falcon, told him everything to Elite Falcon's face. It's over online over Discord chat, so not to his face, but you get what I mean. But I talked to him, I told him all that type of stuff, and Elite Falcon even said, yeah, he agreed. The content that he did, previously was poor. It was just quick content. It wasn't anything, but I have no issues with Elite Falcon now. And I even talked to Elite Falcon and Saintly Demonic over this. I have no issues with him now because of the fact that he changed. Because during that conversation that we had, I said Elite Falcon was changing how he was releasing his content. He would spend more time on maps. He wouldn't just throw up something that says incredible race map and, and say it only worked on it for 11 minutes. And it's like, no, that's not an incredible race map and stuff. And same thing with his other maps that he did in 15 minutes. And he made it seem like it was some incredible thing whenever it wasn't. But he changed. And I said he's definitely getting better about how he's, doing it. And I talked to Elite Falcon about that. So I don't know what they're talking about. I love how Saintly Demonic left out that little tidbit, how I talked to Elite Falcon directly after our hour-long chat, telling him all my issues to his face. But yeah.
So that's part of the reason I mentioned him in the response, and that he can confirm what happened. And I swear to God, so help me God, if he lies to the Halo community, it's going public.
Drop it. Yeah.
No, I want him to drop it. Release it.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about with that, though, is oh, he lied. It could have been photoshopped, blah, blah, blah.
You can't Photoshop his voice.
Oh, you got the voice. Okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about a Discord.
Oh, no. This was an hour-long VC where he talks about fucking everything and his hates in the community and how all the issues he had with EFS was Elite Falcon. And how he hates how Elite Falcon would fucking upload shit that he didn't put time into.
That's true. That's
Who
true.
has a YouTube channel they don't care about that they would willingly have that uploaded to it?
I do. I have 3 of them.
Cool.
I
You
get
might get
banned so
monetized
often.
off
And then
it.
Sane could like tweet that or whatever.
You might get monetized off it.
I'll monetize that.
So that was the information. That was the audio bit there on there. And so that was all really interesting. That whole stuff is, yeah, I wasn't going to make a video. I was just going to be a third party in all this. Just, saying, like I basically said on here, I go, yikes, because this came out and I was like, man, if this is true, this is crazy. I never said that this is all true, but I just said, yikes. I go, y'all know I've been skeptical of Leaf Forge Studios from the beginning. I have been. That is publicly known that I have not liked Elite Forge Studios since the beginning and stuff. And then also, for some reason, they're acting like I'm gonna lie to the community about that. I don't know. If y'all can go in my Discord and y'all can see how much we talk about Elite Falcon, like not nearly as much anymore, because he's done a lot better with his uploads. But back whenever he was uploading all this like poor content of just like super short, 11-minute, 15-minute builds of just this stuff that looks and then all these people are like flooding into his YouTube videos saying, oh, this looks amazing, whenever really it doesn't. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we made fun of him on his stuff, like we laughed at some of his videos. And should we have done that? Probably not. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you see something that says the, most incredible deal here. Let me go ahead and my hands are off. You see something that's just like,
Welcome back.
like it's most like super incredible like build or something like that, of something, and you're just like, is it really a super, like this insane racetrack in Halo Infinite? This is the insane oh my gosh, that's loud. We'll mute that. This is the insane racetrack, everyone. Like, this is it. How is this an insane racetrack? Like, this is not that great of a racetrack. Like, look at this. This is not. And I even put it in the comments and stuff on here. I don't know. Where is it? Dang, came in here expecting an insane racetrack because of the title. Would love to see a track you spend more than 13 minutes on to make. And then he goes, I'm too busy for that. Plus, it isn't my specialty. I'm more of a world builder. To me, dude, this is insane. Leave me be. And I was just like, I told him, I said, I'm not hating. Just excited to see an awesome racetrack, especially since we have the ability to save now. You could save. So even if you don't have time, you can still save and come back to it later. Heck, I built this one right here, this track. Now, yes, I am a good racetrack builder. I know I am. I built this before save was even an option there. And so, yeah, this track definitely was a lot better than that. But this was before the save option even came up in the leaked build on there. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. This is so blurry and everything like that. Maybe because I'm recording. But yeah, it's one of those things though where I was just like, what are you talking about? I told Elite Falcon to his face that I don't like his content and everything. And it's sad that Saintly Demonic I had no issues with Saintly Demonic at all. None. Not a single issue until now. Once he decides to talk about me like that behind my back, and sit there and say like he has dirt and I've said some bad stuff in that recording. Really? No, I didn't. Off of my recollection, I did not say anything bad on there. So, I don't know. This whole thing is ridiculous. I wasn't going to make any videos about this. I was going to just be a third party retweeting the responses of each person and everything. But if you want to sit there and go after me and threaten me, then no, I'm going to make a video about you, and then this is what we're going to be doing here. So feel free to give a response. Feel free to release that hour-long video that you scummily, or whatever you want to say, that you decided to record behind my back without me knowing, at least off of the top of my, I don't remember you asking. Maybe you did. I don't remember you asking at all. I'm pretty sure you just recorded it without my knowing. And yeah, that's pretty scummy. If you want to do that type of stuff. So now I do have a problem with you, Saintly Demonic. If you want to sit there and threaten me, then I have an issue with you. And I will not be supporting anything that Elite Forge Studios releases at all. At all. And I'm going to be actively trying to get all the my other friends that are YouTube, creators to not support you as well. Because if you want to go after me and threaten me about all this type of stuff, even though I'm just a third party here and just retweeting responses about stuff about the Forge community and about what's going on. But if you want to sit there and threaten me, then I will now actively try to keep your studio from doing anything. So that's all on you for threatening me, for recording my conversation without me knowing. That's all on you. So again, thanks to everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. I will leave links to each responses from Elite Falcons and Elite Forge Studios responses. If you do want to go ahead and read through all of that type of stuff, I will leave those things there. Thanks if y'all watched all the way through this. And yeah, I will see y'all on the next one. And remember, it's Forge a New Halo. So close. Tuesday, everyone. Tuesday. And we've all finally get to Forge. Oh, so excited. So excited. See y'all then.